someone has only left $1 in the will, can they still contest it?
Yes. But also, even if the will leaves that same person 99.9% of the estate, they can still contest it. Now, obviously those two examples are very extreme, and obviously someone who is left 99.9% of an estate is unlikely to successfully contest. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's no automatically set in stone gift that precludes someone from contesting the will. Similarly, if you put a clause in your will saying if the person contests they get nothing, that also has no effect. So what you need to understand is that the law of contesting a will, which is the colloquial way of calling it, actually revolves around a legislative test, which is if that person is within one of the eligible categories of people to contest, did the will make adequate provision for their proper maintenance and support? So that is the legislative test, that wording there, adequate provision for proper maintenance and support. That test is applied within the circumstances on the date that the person died and involves consideration of all of the circumstances, including financial circumstances of the person who is wanting to contest, all of the circumstances, including financial circumstances of all the beneficiaries who are written in the will for the rest of the estate, and other things can become relevant, such as the relationship with the will maker, and all sorts of other things from case to case can have more or less relevance depending. So it's not clear cut. Certainly $1 doesn't solve anything. In fact, it could come across as insulting and be more likely to prompt a problem. Giving someone the majority of the estate doesn't automatically preclude them, though of course if they wanted to contest the will for the remainder, they would have to first show that what they've already received, if it was already generous, was somehow inadequate. So perhaps in some sort of circumstances there might be some argument, but you would assume in most circumstances that would be a difficult task. So just be aware that everything from case to case zones in on the specific circumstances of all the people involved. That's why if you search for cases in the sense of reported judgments, you'll find a huge variety in outcomes. Sometimes people win, sometimes they don't, sometimes they get a lot, sometimes they get less, and that's why it's very hard to come to hard and fast rules as to what will or won't happen, because of the fact that every case not only is determined on its circumstances, but that those circumstances are surrounding the date of the person's death. So if you are trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future if someone dies and if their will is contested, it's a very difficult task, because you don't know even what the date will be in which all of these circumstances will become relevant, let alone what all the flow-on circumstances are that will become relevant. But the short answer is no, you can't stop someone contesting your will by leaving them $1 or $1,000 or $50,000 or any of those sorts of things. Unfortunately, there have been people who have thought that, but unfortunately it's incorrect.